Hey guys, so we're here with a tutorial on how to make these. My lovely husband did the setup because I didn't know what I was doing. So we have my Lowry stand and the light situation going on. He says I officially now look like a YouTuber. See, we got the hand thing, no face thing. So I was asked to do a video on how to make these. I do want to start off by saying that this is not my idea. This is Carrie from Carrie and Stitches idea. I just figured out how I wanted to do them. So that's how I'm going to show you. Also, I am just new to beading and wiring and things. So this is, like I said, just how I figured out how to do things. My husband helped me figure out the wire situation and things like that. So this is what we're going to do today. Are you guys ready? All right. So some of the supplies that we're going to need is you're going to need either a rotary cutter or a pair of scissors. Either will work. It's no big deal. I prefer the rotary cutter, but that's because I have it. You will need a small ruler. If you're not too picky, you don't even need that. It's just how straight and stuff you want things. You will need a hot glue gun, an iron, which is over there heating, and beading supplies. And I'll go over that when we get closer to the beading. Okay, are you guys ready? So you need your stitch piece. So I've got my It's You I Like. This is 1/1 on 32 count. It's a fabulous way to use up scraps. So let's get cutting. Oh, I'm sorry. You also need interfacing. Now, I like the stiff stuff, but basically this is just to have the dimensions of this so you know where to fold things over at. So any kind of interfacing, fusible interfacing you want to use is fine. I happen to have a lot of this laying around from doing project bags. So this is what I use. It is an 808, Pellon 808. I get mine at Walmart or on Amazon. So there's that. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need to do is measure how far on this you want. So I like taking from the notches from here to here. And so it looks like, let's see, ours is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8 of an inch approximately. So now you can go ahead and measure this per zact if you would like. You can totally do that. I don't have time for that. I just don't. I don't have time for that. So what I do is I just lay it down and eyeball it. I know that this piece is going to be too big, so I'm going to cut it down to a more manageable size. Don't cut into your cross stitch because that would be bad. And then I just kind of eyeball. I know I'm going to want it about there. Okay, so it's still a little bit big, but I will take care of that in a minute. We're going to wrap it around, and you can overlap, but it tends to get bulky when we're hot gluing. So even if it's just a little less, less is more. So I wouldn't suggest going over. You can if you have a lighter weight interfacing, but if you have this heavier interfacing, you really don't want to overlap. So I'm going to make my mark there, and you can just use your scissors to go there. Okay, so now that I'm looking at this, I do want to take a little bit off the edge. See where it's curling up? And remember, we're going to wrap fabric around that, so it's going to be a little bit bigger. So I am going to cut a sliver of this off. Okay. So then, see, we have this, and for me, I think that's going to be perfect. Don't mind the husband's noises. Oh, Ronald's noises. What's up?
Where's gymnastics?
Go outside and talk to your dad. Sorry about the interruption. So that's going to be perfect, and it's going to fit perfectly. So now we're going to work on the cross stitch. So we're going to bring the iron out. I am going to get my iron pad. That's the gluing side. Let's get to the ironing side. We don't want hot glue on our cross stitch. Okay, I'm jumping ahead of myself. This fabric is too big. I want to get rid of some of the bulk. Okay. So now we'll get the ironing pad out. So the first thing I'm going to do is iron it flat so it's easier to work with. If you have some best press, you can go ahead and use that here. So just iron it flat. So now we can see the words on this side. And what I am going to do is just kind of place it down where I think I want it, because you can see where the writing is. So I'm going to try and eyeball it and get it about center. And then I'm going to flip it over. I do not like ironing on the interfacing. I know some people are going to freak out about ironing on the stitches, but I haven't had a problem. But you can do it whatever way you want. I know some people will do it this way and they'll lay down a towel and iron on top of that. It does take a little bit longer for it to adhere. See, it's already adhered. So there's that. Okay, so now we're going to want to fold it over like this and iron it down. But I've got too much fabric, so we're going to trim that down. For this part, you can definitely use the ruler like I'm going to do here. And I am cutting this at 1/2 inch away from the interfacing. Okay. So now we are going to iron these over. Now, because of where I stitched it and stuff, I could have shortened this, but I made the choice not to, and I'll show you how I'm going to take care of that edge when we start wrapping it around, because we don't want that frayed edge showing. Okay, again, if you want to use best press or a little bit of water, which I think I'm going to use a little bit of saturation. This is just a wipey, which puts a little bit of water down. If you are using a hand-dyed fabric, please do not do that. It's a possibility it's going to bleed. Excuse me a minute. I'm going to sneeze. But it helps get the pressing to stay better. And I just use wipies. I always keep wipies in my craft station for my fingers when I paint or situations like this. They just really, really handy. Okay. I'm also I am going to miter cut these corners here, because it's so that way it doesn't have so much bulk. Okay, just like that. Not too much. Just enough that we get rid of that bulk. And we're going to fold it over and iron it down again. Okay. So you have your it's interfaced, it's upside down, and ready to be wrapped around. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, we no longer need the iron, so I'm going to turn that off so I don't burn myself. We are going to be gluing. Now this is a craft mat, so if my hot glue gets on it, I can just peel it off. Oh, hang on. I'm sorry. Might be a little bit of jiggling. Hang on. Okay, there we go. Okay, so you can always come on here, wrap it around. We're going to see how we like it. See, it's just barely going to touch. And that's what I like. So what I'm going to do, so I want to make sure that I've got which one end I want up. So I like that. And see this, they're different. So this one's got fast to boiling, and I'm not going to try to say those words. We're just not going to go there. So I want this side up, I think. The side up is going to be covered by beads. So I think this is the side I'd like up. Actually, I think I'm going to do this side up. That way you can see the fact that this was only 19 cents when my grandmother purchased it. So what you're going to do is you're going to start with a bit of glue. Kind of make sure you spread it around because we don't want a big bulk. Start in the middle. I have found this to be the easiest way, is to start in the middle and then wrap around. And you want to lay down your raw edge first because we will cover it up with the other edge. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm out of frame. Okay, oop. Okay. All right, once you get to this point, we're just going to put some glue right here on this edge. Make sure you're getting all those little frays. And this is kind of where the tricky stitch place is. You've got your miter cuts. Whoop, whoop, I keep on going off screen. Woo! Don't stick your finger in the glue. Note to self. Okay, and then you're just going to wrap it over. Now, I am sure that there are other ways of doing this. This is just the way that I have found to do it. So now we have the It's You I Like. He's all wrapped up. You can always come through here and add little embellishments if you want to cover that. But we're going to turn it into a scissor fob. So I'm going to move the glue gun out of the way. You no longer need the glue gun. Let's see, unplug that. And we don't need the scissors anymore, or the rotary cutter, or the ruler. We do need the beading supplies. Okay, so what I use is this beading wire. And I'm sorry, I don't have the sticker on it. My husband got it for me. It was just in the beading section and it's real thin. So these, the way I do these, the wire is doubled in here. So you need to make sure that you have enough. I would always rather cut more than I need than have not enough. So I'm going to cut the wire. And I've got these, they are needle nose pliers. They have a clipper right there, and then this smoosher for the crimp pieces. So I really enjoy these. These are really, really nice. Okay, so now we need to figure out what beads we're going to use. So I know I already want a clasp because I'm turning this into a scissor fob. So here's my clasps. I got these in 100 pack on Amazon, I think for like $8. They were pretty cheap. My kids love making keychains, so it was worth the investment for me. So I want that. And then I have my stash of beads. Now, pro tip here, guys, because I didn't know this, and if everybody else knew this, just let me know that I just missed that bandwagon. I was looking for a box to keep my beads in, and all the ones at the craft store were super expensive or just didn't do what I wanted. So my kids broke a window and we had to fix it, and we were on Home Depot, and I went down the toolbox aisle and I found this for $9. So it's completely tight. They have all these compartments. Let's see if I can open it up. All these compartments, but here's the cool part. It is double-sided. So if you're ever looking for something to organize your craft store stuff with, start at the hardware store because it's cheaper. Everything I saw there was cheaper than I could get it at the craft store, and it works well. So there's that. Okay, flip it back over. We're going to start to pick some beads. Okay, let's move this off so we can look at the beads. I'm wanting, the person that's getting this, his favorite color is blue. And so I want to keep it blue themed. So I have this butterfly that I really like. I think we'll pull that out. You definitely want some big beads because these holes are pretty big, and so you want to make sure that they're not going to sink in there like these teardrop ones I have would sink right in. So I'm thinking, let's see, what looks better with the butterfly? I don't know. This is always the fun part, is playing with the beads, right? Okay, so I've got these beads. I do want a couple. We're going to pull some of these little ones out. Let's see, what other colors could I put in? I don't know. Let's throw a white one in there just in case. I'm not going to use all of these, but they're what I'm going to look at for doing other things. Oh, let's pull some blue little ones. Let's check the other side. Sorry, this is probably terribly interesting. This is how my process goes. Maybe I should have picked these out beforehand, but there's those. Okay. So now you need to figure out how you want to put these on there. You are going to fold your wire in half. Okay. And you're going to feed however, you could use a key ring, but however you're going to clasp it onto what you're making, you need to put your clasp on. Okay, then I like to put a smaller bead on first. See, if you look here, we kind of start small. That's just the way I like doing it. You definitely do not have to do it my way. Do what you like best, but I think I'm going to go with this diamond-shaped one. And then let's put this dark one on. And then I think the butterfly. Yeah, I'm liking that. And then let's go with this other sparkle one. And then I'm going to put on the It's You I Like. Okay. There. I think I like that. Now, I can't tell you how many times. I think it was this one that I, tried different things and I did different things. So make it to where you like it. Nothing's set in stone until you put the crimper on. Okay, so now remembering that I've got this big hole, I need to make sure that I put a bigger bead down there so it won't suck in. So I'm going to do that. And then, see, I like having this teardrop shape down here, but I really don't think I have any in blue. Okay, but I do have, okay, here we go. I have this little one here. So I'm going to put this little one on, and this is super blue. As you can see, I normally do a lot of different colors, but this one is going to be super blue, and I think I'm okay with that. So I'm going to put this through here. Now, another way you can do this is the way I like doing them, but if I wanted to put a charm on the bottom, say with all the blue that the person I was making this for really liked Frozen, which I think she does, but so the Frozen, and I wanted to put this on the end, which you could very easily do. What you would do is you would wrap it down through, wrap it around here, bring it back up, and crimp it up here. It is a little more difficult to do it that way. You kind of have to fuss with getting them up and down and around, but they do turn out super cute. So that is another thing we can do. And if you guys want to see that, let me know, and I can always make another one and show you how to do that. So there's that. And I like the way it is. I'm pretty happy with it. I think she'll like it. So now you need a crimper. Okay. These are crimpers. You can get them smaller. I do have the bigger ones. I bought a container of smaller ones, but they disappeared. Okay, so I am going to cut this in half so that's not going to be huge hanging at the end, but this is a crimper. So we're going to add it on last. Okay, so there it is. And see, it wouldn't even look that bad for the whole thing if you didn't want to try and cut it off. So there that is. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this squishy part here, the hard part, not the cutting part, the hard part. And we're going to squish this closed. Now I have, see, it runs away. I have had my husband do this for me at times, just because he's got more muscles than I do. So, but if you take your time, see, there we go. If you take your time, you can get it smushed hard enough to get it stuck up there. See, it's stuck now. Now, if you do not want this whole thing on here, like I don't want this whole thing on there, make sure everything is super crimped and that it's not going anywhere. And then use your cutting thing. By the way, if you're looking for these, they are in the beading and jewelry section too. But you use that cutting thing to shorten it. And that'll crimp it down even harder on those strings. And if I wanted to make it smaller, I can still do that. But I think it looks pretty good the way it is. I'm pretty happy with it. And that's how I make these. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. But there it is. I think they turn out beautiful. It's a great way to use these antique bobbins. You can buy these bobbins. They're not the antique ones, but see, look, I got some at a swap meet, a craft fair. They do sell them, these wooden bobbins just like this, and you'd use the same method to do the putting it around and then beating it. So if you don't have these, you can buy these, and they work just as well. They turn out fabulous and they make fabulous gifts. At least I think they do. So here they all are together. This one is a little bit longer, but I like it. I think it turned out super cute. They all come out a little different. And there they are. Okay, guys, so that's the end of it. Again, please let me know if you have any questions. I'll see about linking the wire and the crimp tags, and I'll see if I can't find a pair of these on Amazon, because I know Amazon's sometimes the easier way to go. I'll see if I can't link those things in the description box for everybody to be able to link through. So that's it, guys. We'll talk to you later. Have a fabulous time crafting. Bye-bye.